Parents' responsibility is to make more money so I can live a better life. This is what a 17-year-old girl said. Other than spending money, she basically can't do anything. She doesn't even know how to wash her own hair. Yet she thinks that, after her parents had her, they should just make money, so she would never run out of money to spend. Her parents knew this wasn't going to work. So, they asked the show crew to send her to the countryside for some re-education. Her name is Olya. Her father is the CEO of an AI company. Her mother owns several beauty and hair salons. Their household income is around 5 million rubles per month on average. Every time Olya speaks, she expects at least 100,000 rubles. The elite school she attends costs over 60,000 rubles per month, including all sorts of courses.
Они не оплачивают занятия. Это их обязанность прямая, они родили ребенка и должны вырастить его.
Besides that, she has a personal bodyguard, whose salary is 80,000 rubles per month.
Без телохранителя в школу ходить не буду, без охранника, а лучше два.
In reality, nothing would ever happen at school. She just wanted the image. She also has a typical girl hobby, shopping. For her, expensive is always better, and she spends about 250,000 rubles per month shopping.
Мама с детства мне говорила, что я должна быть самой лучшей, самой модной, самой красивой.
It seems that using the Western style of praising children isn't always the best approach. It can easily make kids develop overconfidence. She doesn't eat fish or meat, and she insists on having berries for breakfast. Even with just a vegetarian diet, she spends 50,000 rubles per month. Now she wants to become an actress.
Я буду актрисой. Я уверена, что я буду знаменитой, известной.
She plans to go to Hollywood, so she has to prepare for everything. Her original monthly expenses of 50 to 60,000 rubles suddenly doubled because of all the extra training. Luckily, she gets her hair washed and styled at her mother's beauty salon, otherwise it would have cost even more. Her parents decided they could no longer indulge her and planned to send her to the countryside for a makeover. But Olya thought her parents were being unreasonable, and her best friend agreed with her.
Что мне не надо вообще ни в чем ограничивать, а просто им нужно зарабатывать больше, чтобы моя жизнь становилась все лучше.
Since she refused to cooperate and didn't want to go to the countryside, the only solution was to cut off her card. If she dared to refuse or try to run away, she would never get to pursue acting in Los Angeles. Next, let's see what happens when Olya goes to the countryside for 4 days of re-education.
5 рублей стоит автобус. Родители, если со мной что-то случится, все на вашей совести, все.
The re-education took place in a village about 300 kilometers from Moscow. The Snyder family lives there. The father is 41 and works in carpentry and home renovations. The mother is 37 and a homemaker. They are very much in love and have 8 kids, planning to have a 9th. From watching this show, I got the feeling that Russia might just be a future population powerhouse. Their eldest son, James, is 17. We won't go into detail about the other kids, because James would be the one guiding Olya. They have their own farm, and with so many family members, they don't need to hire help, excluding child benefits. This family earns only about 60,000 rubles per month. Among all the families featured on the show, this household has the lowest income, because they don't have much money. They have to live a proactive, hard-working life. Every morning, they take a morning rinse. Now, a few of the older brothers are riding motorcycles to pick up Olya at the bus stop.
Мам, ты довольна? А что тут, господи, что...
Ой, здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
She immediately complains that the helmet isn't clean and wants a handkerchief to put inside. Wearing a skirt, she doesn't sit comfortably on the motorcycle.
Господи, какие-то ножки, они меня уже задолбали.
To her surprise, even rural women here wear makeup. They exchange simple introductions, then show Olya around the house. As soon as she steps inside, she complains that the kids are too noisy.
А вы их на улицу не выгоняете?
Мы их не выгоняем, они...
She doesn't even realize whose house this is, and the mother thinks she's being neurotic. Originally, they planned to have Olya share a room with 2 daughters, but she wanted her own private space. Since there was no extra room, the only option left was a folding bed. Next, they took Olya to the farm to see the livestock they raise, wearing her expensive Gucci boots. She steps in manure, looking completely out of place.
Не бойся, не кни.
Нет.
To the boys, she looked like a goddess fallen from the moon.
Куры несли яйца. Не отворачивайся от них, у тебя больше шансов, что они тебя укусят.
The farm produces all-natural food, but Olya thinks store-bought food is better, not realizing that store food originally comes from farms. James wanted her to help with chores, but Olya strongly resisted. Her only goal for coming here was to get money from her parents. Finally, the 3 brothers even washed her boots for her, a huge indulgence. Soon it was time for lunch, but she wouldn't eat this or that, only wanting berries, which weren't available here. The nearest delivery store is 100 kilometers away, and seasonal foods aren't stocked locally, so they substituted grapes and melon for her. At the table, the discussion turned to money. Olya thinks you can't live well without money. With money, kids can go to better universities and get better education. But the father thinks that if kids have money, they won't feel the need to achieve anything. If they work hard and get good grades, they can naturally get into a good university. This is a common split in opinion among ordinary people. Which approach is right? That's up for you to decide.
Потому что у них нет другой жизни, потому что они живут вот так, они ничего не видели. Каждый останется при своем мнении, я думаю, нам тяжело друг другу понять.
In other words, poor families want to earn more, too. But within their limited ability, they can only learn self-satisfaction. At some point, you might even think, Olya's point of view is correct. But the main problem now is that she knows nothing. So the mother asks her to wash the dishes.
А ты когда-нибудь мыла тарелку?
Нет.
Попробуй.
Помочь тарелку? Помочь мою тарелку?
Olya speaks in a commanding tone. Finally, James compromised.
Я буду манипулировать, я буду крутить его вокруг своего пальца.
After dinner, they prepared her sleeping area. She chose the room where the mother sews toys. Olya felt that James, being a typical straight guy, could be easily manipulated, so she planned to make him do everything for her, including making her bed. And that's how the first day passed. Day 2. Everyone got up around 7 a.m. But Olya kept sleeping and didn't want to get up. Eventually, the cries of the kids outside forced her to get out of bed. Unlike what she expected, there was no line for the bathroom. Everyone was preparing for their morning rinse. Then Olya made an unexpected request. She wanted the mother to wash her hair.
Ты шутишь?
И только...
Olya had never washed her own hair in her life, which shocked the mother. Even worse, she used 5 or 6 different products for a single wash. In the end, the mother helped her. After washing, drying her hair became another problem. James only planned to teach her how to blow dry. But, naturally, she asked James to do it for her.
Хотелось бы, чтобы она чувствовала себя комфортно, чтобы ей было хорошо.
Blow drying and makeup together took a full hour. After breakfast, the father wanted to take her to the sheep pen, but the smell alone was unbearable for her. She didn't want to do any chores.
Можешь. Ну, подержи его, чтобы он...
хочу, правда,
Ну как? Он чистенький, смотри какой.
Since she couldn't do heavy work, she could at least hold a lamb, a small contribution to the chores. Then they taught her how to milk a goat.
Ну, хочешь попробуй одной?
Вот, и молоко потекло.
She just wanted to get fresh air. Not long after going outside, James called her back to see a goat giving birth.
А почему вы ее к врачу не ведете роду
А зачем? Птичка, она сама родит.
Calling a vet costs money, and animals have their own natural instincts for giving birth. The kid's job was just to gather fresh leaves for the goat. Olya still refused to do anything.
Видишь, что у меня белая юбка? Ты знаешь, сколько она стоит?
Мне все равно.
Her behavior increasingly frustrated James, even spoiling his mood during meals.
Поругались, что ли?
When the mother asked the other brothers, they explained what happened. James also told everything, but Olya felt she hadn't done anything wrong.
Говорю, я не буду ничего делать. Он не стоит на своем. Делай.
Что ли, я не знаю.
Я перегнула палку. Может, он меня, конечно, внутренне простит.
She felt there was no need to tell the mother everything. Parents don't need to know all their secrets. For James, this was a lack of trust toward parents. If she shared things with them, they could give good advice under certain conditions, allowing her to act confidently in the future. That Saturday, the whole family went 15 kilometers away to pick up trash, without any reward, just to teach the kids to protect nature. Later, it was their afternoon tea, and their happiness rubbed off on Olya.
Налить чашечку чая или кофе, принести, сказать, мамочка, доброе утро, вот тебе завтрак.
Apparently, she had never done this before. She only bought gifts for her mom, and that was with her mom's money. The mother let her try once, and Olya liked it enough to want to do it again. In the evening, the mother showed her studio, where she makes and sells toys online. Olya, who only knew how to buy things online, didn't know how they were made. The mother let her experience making something herself, which opened Olya's heart. She started talking to the mother about everything.
Мама всегда поддержит, мама всегда боишься ее неодобрения.
Ну, наверное, да.
Dinner was specially prepared vegetarian fried rice. Olya ate happily. She gradually lost her former arrogance.
Я вообще в шоке, что вы всегда кушаете всей семьей. Раз в месяц кушаем все вместе.
Я тебе предлагаю, внеси такую традицию в свою семью.
Without realizing it, the mother's guidance helped Olya take on responsibility. Day 3. The little goat was finally born. After the previous day's integration and guidance, Olya actively helped with chores. The best way to educate a child is to teach responsibility. It makes them feel they can handle a little piece of the world, even though the goat's birth delayed their morning rinse. That day, the mother had Olya participate in the rinse. She was only excited and thrilled, because she had never done it before.
Сегодня 445-й день. Ну давай, обливайся. Раз, два, три.
Morning rinses have many benefits. They improve circulation, boost immunity, wake you up. For Olya, who had never experienced it, it also helped her bond with the family. Kids need to be taught patiently. It's not that she couldn't do it, but the teaching method mattered. Even washing a dish can feel like a ceremonious ritual. Which spoiled child could resist that? With praise and encouragement. Once they do it once, they can do it again. You have to admire this family's teaching skills. The last important step, washing her own hair. This treated a spoiled 17-year-old princess like an 8-year-old child. It showed that whether a family is rich or poor, the family atmosphere is the most important factor in a child's growth. In the evening, a few brothers invited their young friends, sharing stories and thoughts to encourage Olya to speak openly. On the final day, the mother prepared a rich breakfast and even got berries for her.
Вот, все для тебя.
Я буду вас вспоминать 100% и скучать.
First, they opened her heart, then taught responsibility, helped her integrate, gave emotional support and praise, and finally added a small surprise. This family's mother is truly remarkable. This approach works not only for kids, but even adults. It was time for Olya to leave. The experiment was a success. She couldn't wait to tell her parents her thoughts.
4 дня это мало, чтобы полностью человека изменить. Телефон, оказывается, вообще классный. Есть жизнь без телефона, я про него почти не вспоминала. Рисоваться вообще, эти мысли во мне долго сохраняются. Вы у меня самые-самые лучшие родители.
The episode ends here. See you next time. Remember to like and subscribe.